Hello, everyone. My name is Joel, and today I'll be analyzing Black Mirror Season 4, Episode 5, Metalhead, using actor network theory, or N for short. Through N, we'll explore how power, agency, and networks of human and non human actors shape the story and its broader meaning for society. My goal is to show how this episode reflects Ant's core ideas about technology, not just being a tool, but an actor with real influence in human life. Excuse me. To begin, I'll give a quick summary of the episode. The episode follows a woman named Bella who is on a supply run with two companions. They break into a warehouse to retrieve something, but things go horribly wrong when they awaken a robotic guard dog. The dog kills her companions and chases Bella across a desolate landscape. For the entire episode, Bella is haunted. The dog tracks her, injures her, and ultimately corners her. In the end, she dies after a brutal fight, and we discover that the item she risked her life for was a box of teddy bears. This twist underlines the desperation and humanity in a world where survival is constantly under threat. The stark black and white visuals emphasize how bleak and stripped down this world is. Nothing distracts us from the raw confrontation between human vulnerability and machine persistence. What is actor network theory? Actor network theory is a framework developed by scholars like Bruno Latour. At its core, Anne argues that society and technology are networks of relationships that include both human and non human actors. That means power and influence don't only come from people, but also from things like machines, infrastructures, and even simple tools. Instead of asking, what do people do with technology? Anne asks, how do humans and not humans interact to produce outcomes? For example, in Metalhead, the robot dogs, the humans, and even everyday objects like cars or knives are all part of the same network. For one, I mean, to each one makes a difference in how events unfold. This helps us move past the idea that humans are always in control, showing instead how power emerges through relationships in the network. Now we'll go over some key concepts of Ant. First, there's actors. These can be humans or non-humans. In Metalhead, the humans, the robot dogs, and even objects like the car or a weapon all act as actors. Each one has the ability to shape the story. Second, we have networks. Anne tells us that stability and power emerges from relationships. For example, in the episode, the communication system that the robot dogs use to alert one another creates a network of control, ensuring that humans can't easily escape. In real life, think about something like Google Maps. It doesn't just give direction, it shapes how we move through cities, or any road for that matter. Third, we got distributed agency. Power isn't just human. The robot dogs don't make choices like we do, but their design, lethal weapons, tracking devices, persistence, gives them agency over the humans. And finally, we got translation. This refers to how actors' interests get transformed in a network. For instance, humans want safety, and designers might have originally wanted to build security tools. But once deployed, those robots translate this interest into domination and violence. Let's apply Ant to Metalhead. So, how do we apply Ant to Metalhead? The robot dogs, as non human actors, shape the entire narrative. Their design, heat sensors tracking bullets, and relentless persistence control human behavior. The characters are constantly hiding, fleeing, or fighting based on what the dogs do. But Anne also forces us to look at the human actors. The survivors are searching for resources, like the box in the warehouse. Their choices, whether to risk entering, how to improvise weapons, or even using cars for escape, are part of the network too. And it leads to distributed agency. The episode is not simply human versus machines. The environment, trees, houses, cars, knives, become part of the network that shapes who survives and who doesn't. The outcome is never determined by one actor alone, but by the shifting network of humans, technologies, and settings. Now let's analyze a scene through Ant. In the car scene, when humans try to flee in a vehicle, the car itself becomes a temporary ally. It acts as an actor that provides protection and mobility. But once the car breaks down, the network shifts. The humans are suddenly exposed and vulnerable again. The key point here is that Ant shows how deeply survival depends on technology. The humans aren't simply using the car as a neutral tool, their lives are bound up with it. When the car fails, it changes the balance of power in the network, reminding us how fragile that dependence really is. Now let's look at another scene. In this scene, Bella climbs up a tree to escape the environment. Sorry, to escape. The environment itself becomes a crucial actor in the network. The tree gives her elevation, distance, and a temporary sense of safety. For a moment, it shifts the balance of power by keeping the robot dog from reaching her. From an ant perspective, this shows that survival isn't just about Bella's choices or the dog's design. It's about how non human actors like the tree reshape the network. The tree isn't passive, it actively changes the outcome, even if only briefly. This moment highlights distributed agency as well. Bella doesn't survive because of her willpower alone, but because she interacts with her environment in creative ways. The tree becomes part of her strategy, reinforcing Ant's claims that humans and non humans together produce outcomes in a network. And last thing to analyze in this scene, excuse me, in this scene, when the robot dog gets destroyed by Bella, it releases a grenade that, when it explodes, the shrapnel it releases embed tiny trackers, mm, embed tiny trackers into her body. Even after the dog is destroyed, its design continues to act on her. The technology keeps exerting influence beyond direct human control. This perfectly illustrates Anne's idea of distributed agency. It's not that the dog chose to keep fighting, but the way it was built ensures that it continues to shape the story. Bella's body is literally transformed into part of the network because she carries the trackers with her. The tech extends its power, showing how non human actors can persist and dominate even after they're gone. To conclude, L helps us see that technology is never neutral. In Metalhead, survival isn't just about resisting machines, but about constantly negotiating with the entire network of humans, technologies, and environments. The robot dogs are not just enemies, they're a part of a broader system of design, supply chains, and communications network. The human survivors are shaped by those systems at every step. For us, the viewers, this episode pushes us to reflect on our own world. Think about automation, AI weapons, and surveillance technologies that already surround us, and shows that these systems don't just serve us, they shape us. They organize our possibilities, our vulnerabilities, and even how we imagine survival. So the real message of Metalhead isn't just about killer robots. It's about recognizing that in our technological society, agency is always shared, and power is always distributed across the networks we live in. Thank you very much. I hope you all found this information helpful and have a great day.